welcome to Basic Science Series. I'm your host Lokinder Kumar, and today we will be discussing carbohydrates. In this particular video, I will give you some of the introductory points regarding the carbohydrate molecules. We'll discuss the general chemical formula. We'll discuss the structure of fructose, glucose, and why they are known as Ketohexose and Aldohexose. I'll also give you some interesting examples to understand the polysaccharides. So without any delay, let's start the video. Alright, so today our topic is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, they are also known as glycans. So let me write it down. Carbohydrates, they are also known as, in bracket I'll write down glycans. So that's the other name for carbohydrate molecules. And in case of carbohydrate molecules, we study monosaccharides, we study disaccharide, we study polysaccharides, and the monosaccharides. Monosaccharides, they are the fundamental unit of the polysaccharide molecules, and there are a number of monosaccharide molecules. They are also known as simple sugars, and when monosaccharides, they combine together with the glycosidic linkage, you'll get the larger molecules, and those larger molecules, they're composed of many monosaccharide molecules. And some of the examples that you already know includes glycogen, starch, and cellulose. So they are one of the most important polysaccharide molecules of our living system. And if you want to understand the polysaccharide, just imagine there is a wall, and you have a lot of bricks in the wall. And when they join together, you have a huge wall in front of you, which is structurally stable, and that is formed of the single unit. In this case, is the brick. The same happens with the polysaccharide molecules. In case of polysaccharide molecules, you will have a sugar building block, and when they will combine together, you'll get a huge polysaccharide molecule that can also be a chemical source. For example, in case of starch and in case of glycogen, that can also be the source of a lot of structural fibers, strong fibers, as in case of cellulose. We cannot digest cellulose, but we can use cellulose because cellulose is one of the important part of the cotton. So most of our clothes definitely have the cellulose. And then if you want to study the structure of the carbohydrates, so this is the general formula: CH2O, and then N can range from 3 to 7. If it is 3, that means you have 3 carbon atoms, and you can call it as a triose. So if you have 4 carbon atoms, you'll call it as a tetroses. So depending upon how many carbons you have in the carbohydrate molecule, you can name them pentose, you can name them hexose, heptose. So this nomenclature is a general, and depending upon number of carbon atoms present in the carbohydrate molecule, you can name them. So as you can see, this is a simple chemical formula, and you can easily remember that. Now let's move on to the important part, which is the structure of 2 key monosaccharide molecules, one fructose, second glucose. In case of fructose, let's say you have sugar, these carbon atoms, they are joined like this. This is the bond between the carbon atoms, and then at carbon atom 1 you have OH group, and after that in the second position you have this keto group. And this is important. In case of glucose, it is on the terminal carbon. That's why it's the aldo group. Here, carbonyl group is present on the internal side, or onto the second group that becomes the keto group. So this is the ketohexose sugar. Hexose means you have 6 carbon atoms. And in case of glucose, see very carefully, on the first carbon atom, you have this carbonyl group. That becomes aldo group. That's why it's known as aldose, aldohexose, or aldo sugar. And further, you have OH group, then the orientation of OH group is on the other side, then 3OH group, and then further H group. This is the linear structure of the sugar. They can also be in the ring structure. So we'll see the ring structure in our next video, where we'll discuss the fructose and where we'll discuss the sucrose and lactose. Anyways, so fructose, you can call it as a ketohexose, keto group, because this is the group that is present in fructose. Second, glucose, it's aldohexose. Aldo, the group is present on the terminal position, and you have 6 carbon atoms, so it's also known as aldohexose. And as you know, these 2 sugars, they are abundant in our living system. Glucose is our source of energy. When we utilize glucose, we get ATP molecules. We have energy source, and the cellular functions, they are happening inside our body using the energy source, which is glucose. In plants, you get the glucose molecules from utilizing this as the sun energy. So plants, they have the ability to basically use the sun energy and produce the glucose molecules. That's why we call them autotrophs. We cannot do that, so that's why we need a glucose supply constantly. That's why we need to eat food to fulfill the requirement of the energy requirement of the glucose molecules. And second sugar, which is fructose, that is present in the fruits, and you can also utilize that. That was the main difference between these 2 important monosaccharide molecules. One is known as ketohexose, second one is known as aldohexose. Now, I hope now the structure is clear. What are the differences? That's also clear. In the next video, I'll come with new topics. We'll discuss sucrose, we'll discuss lactose, and what are the basic units of these 2 sugar molecules. Here we have discussed the glucose and the fructose, and we have also discussed what is the general chemical formula for the carbohydrate molecules. We have also seen why they are known as polysaccharide, what is the concept of single unit and the building block, why they are called as building block. We have also tested the base regarding some of the important polysaccharides like glycogen, starch, and the other one was the cellulose. So, and in our upcoming videos, we'll discuss glycogen, cellulose, starch separately. We'll understand the function, we'll understand the structural differences between these sugars. So I hope that this video series is going to help you to understand the carbohydrates much more easily, and you should be able to get the concepts while you are reading very easily. And definitely these videos gonna refine your concepts regarding the biochemistry of the carbohydrate molecule. So I'll meet you in my next video, where we'll discuss some of the important aspects of carbohydrates. Thank you and take care.